They were good. You know, we got out this morning and got a lot of good work done. We have walkthroughs in the morning right now, but you can't have a ball, and it's really at a walk tempo. So we got some. We were out for an hour and a half this morning, and we were for about I think an hour and 45 this afternoon. So we lightened the load a little bit in the afternoon, just because we were full tempo, full speed this morning. So the big thing is see how they recover. But tomorrow's the day off, so I think the first day of doubles occurred on a good day for us. But they were sharp this afternoon. So
you guys got anything planned anyhow?
No, we have a church service here, and then they have a barbecue at their position coach's house tomorrow for the first Saturday. So we'll have a church service and then meetings, and then a barbecue at the position coach's house.
Read a lot about heat in a lot of different places around the conference. You guys have any issues with the temperature so far? Not bothering anybody?
No. Yeah. It's one of the great parts. That's why all recruits should come here. It's a selling point. We got to use it as a selling point, right?
This is a hot week, though.
This is a hot week for Oregon. This isn't a hot week for everybody else out there. So if you're a kid from, like Braylon Addison or some of those kids we got from Texas, they think this is awesome. So it's a selling point for us at the university.
Coach, overall pace-wise, in the spring, one of the talking points was that pace was actually increased in spring of practice over other practices. Do you think you found ways to tweak even more pace out of practice?
Yeah, we have.
This fall?
We're getting between 170, 180 reps in practice now. So we're doing some two-huddle stuff, trying to maximize it, doing two teams at the same time, 2 7-on-7s at the same time. So we're getting a lot of reps right now, and I think it really helps our young guys, instead of standing on the sideline and learning from other guys, are really doing it. So we've increased our reps dramatically, and I think it pays off because more people are involved in practice. So that's one of our goals. We're always trying to tweak practice to see if it's more efficient, and it's worked so far. So
you'll run 2 offensive units?
We're running 2 offensive units at the same time again. So where I got 44 guys going at once now. So it's pretty helter-skelter, but we kind of split our staff in half. Do the same thing in 7-on-7 for just the first part of practice. The second part we're all together, but the first part we're splitting our offenses and we're splitting our defenses, and we're getting a ton, but we're still playing at the same tempo and pace, so we're getting a lot more reps than we've ever gotten.
Doesn't that give you twice as much film to have to look at, or get to look at, I should say?
But again, I've had some coaches say that, but all we do is sit in an air-conditioned room and watch it. So these are the guys that are actually doing it, so it's not that hard.
Chip, by comparison, how many reps were you getting a year ago at this time, or 2 years?
We used to get on a normal day like this, like 120, and now we're at like 180. So we've increased it. It's not for the full practice, so we're not going to get to 240, but it's especially when you got a lot of young guys you got to get a look at. Sometimes it's tough to make an evaluation because you haven't seen them that much. I think every kid, when you watch them, as I told those kids when the first day we met, there's not one kid that's going to be complaining about I don't get any reps. Everybody's playing and they're all getting involved, and the best part for us, everything we really teach, because of how we do things, everything's fast on the field, but we teach it off the film, so we get an opportunity in the meetings to really sit down and show them what they did. So it's been good. We'll back off as we get closer to game time, but we're going at a pretty good clip right now.
How does that translate into focus?
They got to be focused because everybody's involved. There's not many subs, and if you're out for 4 plays and you're back in. So everybody's, in on a 4-play rotation. So the entire group, 104 guys we got out there, are all playing at some point in time. So.
Well, now guys are showing they have the legs to handle that kind of
work. Yeah, they've been good. And I think we do it for the first part of practice, and the last part we come back and still do a 11-on-11 instead of 22-on-22. So, but they've responded really well. And we'll keep monitoring it and see how long we can continue to do it. But it's been great teaching for us. So, and I think it's really helped us with our depth. So we've getting quality reps for guys, and that's a big question for us. Is I think in a lot of positions we know who our ones are, but how do we, how's that battle for number 2 going? And if we're not getting a ton of reps for those guys, it's difficult to make that evaluation, but we're not having that problem right now. So
more reps overall means more conditioning too, doesn't it?
Yeah, but they were in shape to begin with. I think part of what Jimmy does with them in the summer allows us to practice at this tempo, and I think that's the one thing that I was encouraged when we did it on day 1. There wasn't any, hey, we can't keep up with this. They've done a real good job with it. So it's just. I think it's we're trying to maximize our teaching opportunities because we still don't want to be on the field that long. A lot of people try to do the same thing, but they're practicing for 3 hours, and that's not what our deal is all about. So.
When do you start competition?
We had a little one yesterday, but just for part of practice, because when we break off into 44, there's too many people running around. We can't keep score, so I didn't figure out a way to score that. So we scored 3 periods yesterday, and the defense won 45-40. So we had what I call a mini competition day yesterday. But another thing, first day of pads, trying to spark the thing. And offensively, you know, it was really close, but I think we had 4 drops and 2 illegal procedure penalties, and there's 6 points right there that, you know, if they can clean up their self-inflicted wounds, they get a shot at winning it. So anytime we can put those guys in a competitive situation, we're going to try to do it.